This production has been authorized, vetted, evaluated, and approved for your consumption by Wild LLC. You're welcome.
All right.
Hello. What's going on?
Welcome to episode 70 of the Opinion
70.
City podcast, presented by Wild LLC. If you're looking for the best business in the business, look no further than Wild LLC. Proud new owners of such great things as the Opinion City podcast and the High Tension Wrestling Network. They are now
the whole
they're
shebang.
now the owners. As always, I'm your host, King Ralph, joined by my co-host and tag team partner, Parma Sean. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? We got a great show today.
We do have a great show. Why don't you tell everybody what we've got for them today?
Today we have with us the one of one, Chris White. We are looking forward to talking to him later on. And make sure you stick around for our main event top 5, where Chris brings us his top 5 underrated entrance themes.
Man, I am so excited about that top 5. Yeah, that's gonna be great. But before we get to that, we want to just quickly remind you of the 3 free and easy ways to support Opinion City that literally will take less than 30 seconds.
30 seconds, maybe less. Who knows?
All right, so let's talk about the 3 free and easy ways. Number 1, hit that like button, ladies. Just hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, the like button is one of the most important buttons you can press.
So like us.
So
you enjoy us.
Let us know that you enjoy what we're doing.
All the above.
Secondly, hit that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it. That's right. Smash it to pieces.
Smash it.
Yeah, listen, just you want to be one of one, so you can't have anything in your way. So smash that subscribe button.
That's right.
And then finally, hit the share button. Tell everybody,
your friends, strangers, colleagues, people on the street, people when you're at the grocery stores.
You walk out and you single one person, out of one and tell them you're the one I'm telling about Opinion City.
Right.
So if you really want to help out the show as well, which we appreciate everything you do, but if you really want to help us out, hey, grab some merch. Guys, we have plenty of merch. Now you can see there on the screen, we have our
that one's pretty cool.
Opinion City Wild LLC Let Us In logo. But that's not the only thing we have. No. We've got Raw merch, we've got SmackDown merch, we've got fanny packs. Don't sleep on the fanny packs. I forget to say that every week, but do not sleep on the fanny packs. They're making a comeback, and you can get yourself a great Opinion City fanny pack. You can follow us at Opinion City Pod on all the socials to see what we're doing. You can follow at Wild_LLC to see everything that the bosses are doing. And finally, the biggest thing that you can do for us, the most important thing of anything, follow and support our guests. We are all about the guests. We are all about letting you know what they're doing. So you will see some information running along the bottom of the screen during the episode. Just make sure you're following our guests. Again, we do this so we can introduce them to you, and we love having the guests on there, but we really want you to take the time to follow and support them. Go out and see them when you can. All right, Sean, with that being said, let's bring in our guest.
Let's do it. Let's bring in the one of one, Chris White.
Whoa,
rocking that chain,
man,
rocking that chain.
Dude. That's some serious bling. You don't even need lights on in the room. No wonder you got sunglasses on. You look down.
Yeah, I can't blind myself. I can't blind myself. If I do that, then I take myself out the ring. I got to keep the glasses on at all times.
Yeah,
got to keep it on, man.
And
what's up? How you doing?
Yeah,
I am feeling one of one as always.
Aha! That was going to be the very first question to start things off. Is tell us what it means to you to be the one of one.
The one of one. What does it mean to be the one of one? It means everything. It means all. It is the center and pinnacle of the universe. Basically, I'm unapologetic and I will say everything that you don't want to say, but you do want to say it, but you're not brave enough to say it. but the one of one, I'm beyond brave. I'm just
okay.
One, just one.
All right,
just one.
Just one. I like
one.
The center of the universe. So, for those who may not know, other than being the one of one, why don't you give us what we like to call the dust jacket bio of Chris White? Who is Chris White?
Chris White is. See, it takes the words right out of my mouth just trying to describe myself.
Right.
Chris White is someone who just is like I said, just great at everything. There's nothing Chris White can't do. There isn't one thing you can't name that Chris White cannot do.
Wow.
Because Chris White always figures out a way to do anything he wants to do. All right. When it comes to, I guess, what kind of aura I bring off, people have this 1,000, 10,000. I'm just a million times whatever you are in aura. Right? A million times. Walk into the room, change the dynamic. I can just sit here and look just like this. I don't gotta say nothing. Greatest thing ever. That was the greatest
Michael Jackson
thing ever.
style? Michael Jackson style?
Michael Jackson style.
Yeah, just stand on the stage for 5 minutes and we'll just let them cheer you for 5 minutes.
Just let them. People have fainted. I've seen it. I'm slowly have a small collection of bras. Slowly have a small, and they're not mine. But when I stand there and I hit that pose, it's raining double D's.
Yeah, wow, making all the bras fling, buddy. Wow, jeez, that's impressive.
That's pretty good.
That is very impressive.
So let's bring it back to the beginning. Why don't you tell us kind of where and when you began your training to become a pro wrestler?
Started off at the Combat Zone CZW. This is a few years ago. Not say a few years ago. I would say this is about 2 years now. I've been in the business, been training.
Okay.
So I'll tell you a little story of how I actually got to CZW. Before doing, being the greatest of all time and realizing I am the one of one and deciding to step into the ring, I did sales. There was a guy at the job that I worked with. His name was Robbie Blaze, and he was on the indies, I guess, for a little while.
Okay.
Back when I was a lot smaller. He's probably about a generation older than me. I was always talking wrestling with him. Loved it. Was a fan. And one day he goes, "Hey man, I got an email a while back from some guys at Combat Zone. Said just come through training one of these days because he wanted to get back into the ring. You should come with me." I said, all right, one night. So after work, we take a drive over there, and that's where I met Nate Wallace, Dave McCall, Chris Bishop, and a couple of other people who definitely aren't worth the one of one's time of thinking of right now, but they were somewhat relevant in the story because they're in a one-to-one story, so their life has meaning now. But we go there, and I knew I wanted to always step into the ring no matter what. I was always going to do it. I just never knew when I was going to take that initiative to do it. And it just so happened that this was my way in. So came there on Wednesday night, talked to Nate, took a few bumps, started learning how to run the ropes and stuff like that. Then I came back that following Monday. That's where I met DJ Hyde. I met Aaron Ash. And it was just us three in there for the day. And signed the papers to become a student. And ever since then, I've been at the Combat Zone. And that's just how I got there, by kind of just networking with somebody. Said, "Hey, come along," and then next thing you know, I'm in the ring doing my thing now.
Wow,
nice,
very impressive. It makes me feel kind of good we did this podcast, because now my life has meaning.
Right,
it does.
Right.
Anyone that stands in front of the one-on-one, anyone the one-on-one comes in contact with. If I'm even in a supermarket, I don't even got to talk to you, but you're in a supermarket with me. You just had one of the best days of your life, if not the best day of your life.
Yeah.
Just because I'm in it. So just because I'm in it.
Wow. And for those out there who have not maybe seen this or don't know about this yet, we first met at Comrades for Vlad. A few month so ago, and you stormed right into the set. Like I was standing there getting ready to record, and next thing I know, I'm like standing next to one of one. He just bursts on the scene, comes right in the video, and just that was it, man. Why aren't you interviewing me? Why aren't you interviewing the one of one?
Right.
So we did, and of course,
and now we're here.
Now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here. So quite a first meeting, I gotta say.
Yes, quite a first meeting.
It was. Right. I think, like I said, I definitely had to come over and just bless you guys with my presence, and it baffled me why the cameras and why the spotlight was not on the one-of-one at that time. So I had to come and say something. We had to make a correction. We had to make a correction.
Yeah, and we did. We corrected course, all right.
Yes, yes, we did.
All right. I made sure that the canon event happened here today. Because if it didn't, we don't know what was going to happen. We do not know what was going to happen going forward.
Exactly.
You are correct. So, what was it like? As a wrestling fan growing up in Philadelphia, what was that like for you?
It was. I know that there are people that grew up with wrestling, and they were bullied for it or they were teased for it and stuff like that. Not my case at all. I grew up. My middle school was very multicultural. I grew up learning Spanish because I was in a Spanish immersion program, so I grew up speaking Spanish. But cool. Everyone loved wrestling. In middle school growing up, they knew something about it. The teachers did too. So it was like, every show and tell for me, it was a wrestling action figure or a belt. And at the time, I'm still a baseball lover, but at the time before wanting to step into the ring, baseball was a dream. I had like a baseball or a glove or a bat or something I would bring, but I always had, my foam spinner WWE championship title. Nice. When John Cena introduced, always had that. And I always had my, I had a Mr. Kennedy action figure all the time.
Oh,
I was a big Mr. Kennedy fan.
Same.
So I always used to have that, carried around with me in school. And we would always just play fight with action figures. We would always talk wrestling. My friends sometimes would come over. We always had wrestling. But growing up in Philly with it, I never got to experience ECW in 2300. I think I might have missed that wave maybe as a kid because I was born in 98. So I might have missed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But you were like dad, just at the tail end point of like their downfall, pretty much.
Yeah, very much. Because I got to see the TV version, Vince McMahon's vision of ECW, but I only get to watch on Peacock now the older version that I would definitely have loved to have been a part of.
Right.
But always had action figure with me. Always had that, and then my dad every time WWE would always be on Raw showing where they're going next. I would always if they were in Philly, I would beg my parents to the day of. I didn't care if it was a nosebleed. I just wanted to go and be there, be a part of it. And once I saw how, like, as a kid, how awesome the wrestling community actually really is, how accepting it is, how like welcoming it is, and it was like, all right, I want to always be a part of this for life. Like I am a fan. I am here whenever I can, all the time. So that's just how it came about.
Now, here's a question that I've always wanted to ask, because we've, doing this podcast, talking to all these different wrestlers, everyone sort of has the same philosophy. I'm wondering if you do too. As a wrestler growing up, did you ever like phase out for a while and then come back in, or were you always a wrestler through and through? Through and through. I was ever since I started watching, I've been with WWE during their worst times, best times. Same. I've just always been there because it's just. To me, you never know what you're going to get next. I don't care if people can say, "Oh, I feel as though this person is or this storyline is going to go this way." I was like, "Nah, you don't know what you're going to get. It's WWE. You don't know what you're going to get." It always drew me in, even during some of like its worst times. Let's say it's COVID era. There was no fans in there. Right. The stupid LED screens, and then they were just kind of doing anything. I still was there. I was like. I don't know how I couldn't phase out of it. I always thought I would phase out of it. I thought I would, but I never phased out of watching it. I've always been on it. Yeah.
So you were in the Philadelphia area during all of the WrestleMania stuff going on.
Yes.
What was that week like for you? Just having all that wrestling around.
I could not keep cameras off of me.
There you go.
Couldn't keep the cameras off of me. Couldn't keep the broads off of me. Couldn't keep the money away. They just wanted me for everything. But it was. I feel as though me living in Philadelphia my whole life, and growing up in some of the rougher areas and seeing how the city is, I would say for the first time in a long time, it felt like there was peace in the city because of wrestling. It felt like WrestleMania brought this city down to a level where, because I had friends who I know don't keep up with WWE. I know they don't even know who probably AJ Styles is. Right. They probably don't even know who Andre the Giant is. But for some reason, they ended up at WrestleMania. Right. They ended up there because it's WWE, first and foremost, like you grew up with it in your life one way or another. You know about it. And it was just such a surreal experience. I think that the energy that WrestleMania brings anywhere, it can just take away like anything negative that's going on around it.
Yeah.
So it felt like nothing negative was going on in Philly that whole week that WWE was here and Mania was here.
You know, as Ralph and I were doing a bunch of shows and we were there the whole week as well, it really did feel like one giant community that came together. Every show that we were at, every show that I was at, every show that we went to, everyone was such an interactive and happy and intimate crowd. It was just crazy to see that all these different groups were just coming together for one crazy week in Philadelphia.
One crazy week.
They definitely brought it. Philadelphia brought it this year for sure.
Yes. I would say, like they said, that's one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And I can't even deny that fact. Being there was just, it was another experience. And like you said, you watch Mania at home. I've been to Mania in other cities. And like I said, I can't compare to how the Philly crowd interacts with these type of events or just Mania in general. It's crazy. It's crazy fun.
Right.
Yeah, I've been to other WrestleManias as well. And, you know, I don't think people understood what the Philadelphia crowd is like, as you said, for events like this. I was at the Super Bowl parade for the Eagles when they won, and it was the same kind of atmosphere. Like, it's a whole different vibe than any other city.
I wasn't there because I was upset that they beat my team anyway. They can have that one.
Right.
Even though we still got 7+. So it's fine with me.
Well, yeah. You know, sure. So you said you're a baseball fan. Are you a Phillies fan?
Yes, I love I bleed red. I bleed red.
Love it.
I bleed red. But I've always been a Patriots fan. I always liked their colors. Then became a Tom Brady fanboy, and then just loved the team in general.
Well, you know, everything can't be great. I mean, that was your one of one mistake.
There you go. That was your one of one mistake.
There you go.
Hey, I didn't say I was a Cowboys fan.
That's true.
So,
you didn't.
So you get bonus points for that. Yeah.
Now,
it's much safer being a Patriots fan in Philly than it is being a Cowboys fan.
100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
But let's dive more into that whole baseball thing, because we hear that like baseball has a bigger connection to you than just watching it and growing up with it. Like, so why don't you tell the audience kind of your connection with baseball?
So I grew up playing 3 sports. My dad had me in baseball, basketball, football. Basketball, I was okay when I was littler because everybody wasn't as tall, and I was still quick. I was quick enough to move, step back. Little Iverson move, hit my threes. I was never driving to the lane. I was just not the guy to do that. I was like, yeah, I'm not getting my shot blocked in front of anybody. That was just my fear. I had no fear of missing a bucket. I had a fear of getting my shot like swatted so bad. That was just like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Football was fun for a minute until I got a couple concussions as a kid. And I was this is not cool. And then everyone just got huge. Like, going into high school, I was like, I'll play again. Then I went to one of the practices. I was like, why is everyone this big? And I don't think I was even cracking like 110 pounds at the time. I was like, I'm not doing this now.
Jeez.
But baseball is a sport where it's like there's not much contact. You don't got to be. You can't be too big. You can't be too small. Just gotta basically have the fundamentals down. And I always loved baseball because I was like, not saying I excelled better at it than other sports. I was good at football. I was good at basketball, but baseball just always stuck with me because I guess I made more connections with people in baseball. And I just always loved the sport. Like, Ryan Howard was my favorite. To me, he's the greatest first baseman of all time. I don't care what no one says. If he would have kept playing the way he played, he would have been something crazy. But Ryan Howard and that entire 08 team was my team. And I was a Hunter Pence guy. I always liked Hunter Pence. So I always stuck with baseball. And baseball was something that's what I wanted to make a career at first. And then it just became sad one season. I was like, this swing ain't the same. I'm not fielding or throwing the same. It's starting to wear off a little bit. The love was still in the heart, but physically, the play was just not getting there anymore. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just shy away from this. But I did play in college. I played D2 We played D2. I played some D1 club teams sometimes.
Nice.
And then after college, I think that was like, I'm not going to really seek anything past it. But there are days that I wish I still do, because I feel as though I feel as though in me, the man in me and the man in all of us feel as though we still got it, even though
right. Of course.
I was always a Chase Utley guy.
Yeah, I love Chase. I always thought he's great, one of the greatest second basemen of all time. I think in his era, it was him and Dustin Pedroia were my two favorite second basemen, because I love Dustin the way he plays too. But Chase Utley was I loved his swing. I loved the way he fielded. And he was just like one of a cool guy to me. Him and Shane Victorino too. They were just two of the coolest guys to me in baseball at the time.
It was before my time. Like, it was way before my time. But for some reason, I remember growing up getting a Mickey Mantle card, and then that was like my guy. I was like, Mickey Mantle, that's it. That's my guy. Like, that was sold.
I never liked the Yankees, even though like I never was a Yankee guy for any reason. I always hated them.
I understand.
I hated them, especially after 2009. I was a big. I won't say I was a Yankee guy, but I was a big Hideki Matsui fan. I love Hideki.
Okay.
I love him, but I hated him because he torched us every time he played.
Right.
You couldn't. I would get terrified when he'd walk up, because I'm like, is this dude really about to smack a home run?
Right.
He's going to do something crazy. And what would happen? He would do it at least every game. He'd smack a home run off us. And I'm like, come on. At the worst times. At the worst times. I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
That 2008 team was just. I mean, it's hard to describe putting together a team like that, because you look at every single position and everybody was a superstar.
Everyone was a superstar.
You don't see that very often.
No.
Teams built like that.
No.
You don't. You don't see it now in baseball. You have, I would say, you have about 3 to 4 star players on your team per position, depending on how popular they are, depending on all that type of stuff. But like you said, that entire 2008 team will be remembered more than most teams that won the World Series now. I don't even remember everybody on the Rangers when they just won. I really don't. I did not expect them to even go, but that 2008 team was just, like you said, it was something just magic about them that slowly I think the Phillies are trying to get back to, and I think they're slowly getting there, especially after the past 2 seasons.
Right.
But I think we just have to find our bullpen. We need to find our bullpen. I'm saying this is controversial, and I get to say this, and I'm saying this in a 1-of-1. The 1-of-1 is telling Rob Thompson to get rid of Jose Alvarado. And 1-of-1 is also telling Rob Thompson, after this season, you need to get rid of Aaron Nola. Those are 2 people that need to go. They are super inconsistent, and they are not there in the moments that we need them, and we cannot keep affording that anymore. We cannot afford it. We can't afford it.
I mean, I can't honestly think of a time since that 2008 team where there hasn't been a concern about the bullpen. It's like all we think about is that.
Not at all.
It's always a mess.
Right.
It's always, we can't find. I would say Hoffman right now is that go-to guy to close. I don't think Kirkland is even near ready. I think he needs to go back down to the minors. Alvarado has never had his stuff, in my opinion. He's never consistent. I don't know what goes on with him. I don't know if he's scared. I don't know if he just cannot find his command, but it's not there. And I'm sorry too, Rob. I don't know what potential you are seeing in Taijuan Walker. He is now 0 for 9 in his last starts, brother. There is nothing to figure out except who to trade for him. That is what needs to be figured out. We cannot afford Taijuan Walker. Goodbye. You have to go. You need to go.
You heard it here first on Kansas City. It's got to go.
You heard it. He has to.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, I know for a fact that, and unless they're playing somewhere on Sunday afternoons, the entire organization gets together and watches this show at the ballpark.
Good.
They put it up on the screen. Yeah.
Right.
So
good.
This
Look me in my eyes.
will get directly to them.
I hope so. Somebody need to do something.
That's right.
That's right.
Cannot afford it. It is frustrating.
It is.
The fact that I know that I can put $10,000 on the opposite team to win when Taijuan Walker is on the mound, it pains me. in a way because I'm betting against the Phillies, but at the same time I'm winning money.
Right.
Shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't,
but
be
it is.
No, but it is. Unfortunately.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So
really back in. Really back into wrestling. Let's reel it back in.
That gets me hot. T1 Walker gets me hot, man.
Growing up, what was your earliest memory of pro wrestling?
No, I always dread
my earliest memory of pro wrestling. I would say I think the first time I ever laid eyes on pro wrestling, it was back when I think Raw was still on Spike, and I believe it was The Rock's last match on TV against Goldberg.
Oh, I believe. Okay.
I believe that was that time. And I'm watching this match. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what are these guys doing? They're just beating the hell out of each other like this.
Right.
This is a real thing. And I was like, yo, this is cool. And I didn't know who The Rock was. And then after that week, I tried to keep finding how often it would come on. I was Google searching on the computer, and I was like, okay, it comes on every Monday at I think it was 9:30 at the time or something like that. So that's when I just started tuning in, and I just got to see the whole kind of the start, a little bit of the starting point of the Ruthless Aggression area, and everything wild past that. What is one of my craziest moments? I remember Vince McMahon dying.
Oh my god!
I remember being a kid and legit thinking DX killed him, was tormenting him, and I was like, I remember sitting at home, I'm watching, I'm like, yo, DX is they're messing with Vince, and I was starting to feel a little bit bad. I'm like, why do you keep messing with this old man? Like, leave him alone. That's your boss. Like, why does he just fire him?
Right.
And I remember him screw him, gets in a limo. And then it just explodes, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell?"
Yeah,
it's like, what the?
There was supposed to be more than that, but then something happened.
Now looking back at an adult, you see the car, and it's there, and I'm like, and then it just, you see the go out sign and the sign for Raw, and it's like, this is thinking back. I'm like, that's out of pocket. Like, you just have to.
That's out of pocket.
We're trying to close it. But as a kid, you're like, are they gonna call 911? And then they legit had the I think it was the week after they were in Philly or something like that. And I remember them doing, I think, a 10-bell salute for Vince too. And I was like, is he really dead?
They tried, but then everything happened with who that year.
Yeah.
And they had to bring him back right away. Like, oh, I'm alive. Psych. We're back.
I was like, wait.
Quickly backtrack.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what happened here? Like, what is going on?
I think he was gone for
dead.
2 weeks. And then he was back. We're back.
That was one of the craziest moments that I was just like, this is I was legit concerned, what is going on? Is this real? I'm looking at my dad, I'm like, is this real? He's like, I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
They made you just suspended your disbelief for that one time. You're like, oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait a minute.
No idea what's going on.
Because they're a legit blow up, and I'm just like, did he just get assassinated live on TV or something? Like,
show someone get killed on live TV? Yeah, no.
Nah, he's good. He wasn't ready. He wasn't in the car. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's just a scratch. Nothing.
Just a minor flesh wound.
Put a Band-Aid on it. Yeah,
right. It's not like when JR caught fire from Kane.
Oh, that was. I got to see that moment not live, but I got to see it growing up, and how funny JR was going about being on fire.
Right.
Right. Oh God.
The screams. Yeah.
The screams I'm like, this is so if I saw this as an adult live, I would have just died laughing. I would have had to die laughing.
Right.
Couldn't get over how over the top JR always was. And it was just
forever and always.
Well, it's funny to me, a guy like Kane gets put into all these crazy situations. Like, he's lighting people on fire. Because I watched a video the other day of his crazy moments, and he's lighting people on fire, and he's got Shane McMahon with the car battery. That one was, and so here's a guy who's doing all that stuff, and then he says, "Hey, I want to be your mayor," and people said, "Okay,
oh sure, why not?"
They're like, "Oh, a demon? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. We like him. We like him. Yeah. Make him our
Let's take him to mayor of Knox County.
You get free heat during the winter. He just shows up and throws
down. Honestly, I think Kane could definitely run. He would win if he ran for mayor in Philly. He would definitely win.
Yeah. You think so for Philadelphia?
Just because, I mean, Philadelphia's full of dickheads. If we see Kane on there, we're gonna like, wait, the wrestler? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, he gonna be on there. That's man. That's right. He already won. He already won. We don't care about your plans or anything else. We want Kane.
Did you see? I don't know if either of you saw this. The governor of Pennsylvania was doing a press conference and talking about all the things that were coming to Pennsylvania next year.
Right.
And he mentioned WrestleMania during it, to the point where WWE had to reach out to his representative,
like, hey, stop,
and like confirm that like you're not getting WrestleMania next year. And then they had to put a whole thing out about it. So we're just like we're just we're screwed here.
Jumping the gun, like, hey, screw you, we're gonna be here next year too.
Yeah, nobody knows what's going on.
I would feel WrestleMania definitely will return to Philadelphia. Just
right.
Not 2 years in a row.
They have to.
No. Not 2 years.
After that one, they have to.
They're going to come back. They're definitely
absolutely.
They are.
I don't blame them.
If we got it 2 years in a row, I think I think that'll be a first time ever, and that would be crazy.
Right.
To give us it 2 years in a row, but
it would be the second time it happened, because 4 and 5 were at Atlantic City.
Right. Yes. There you go.
Okay.
Right.
They did 4 and 5 there, but they've never done anything that huge.
No.
Like 2 years in a row, I don't think.
No, not at all.
But yeah, crazy. So growing up, you get into wrestling, you see Rock and Goldberg, you're like, what's going on? I got to keep watching this. Growing up, did you have a favorite wrestler?
Yes. One of the main reasons that I got into wrestling was, and I'll show you a picture.
Oh, we got a picture.
It's not even a picture of me, but it's this guy right here.
No, that's kidding. Sick.
That's awesome.
For those who can't see, it's a Hurricane comic book framed photo.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's art signed by his art too.
Ooh, wow.
That's even better. Hell yeah.
That is the main reason I got in, because I remember at the time I think his character was a form of like punishment, because there weren't much guys that were that comedic and kind of, I guess you would call it 80s character back then.
Right.
But he made it work. It didn't knock or phase him. It was just like, oh, I get to do this? Oh, cool. Knowing the whole time he's a huge Green Lantern fan, so he's just living out, his dream on television.
Oh, absolutely.
He's feuding with top dudes in a company, and he's not really supposed to. But he gained
the
traction.
Rock. He beat the Rock. Yeah.
He beat the Rock. He not only beat the Rock in the ring, he beat him on the mic too. Like he was was really good during that.
He was good. I would say The Rock said some of his greatest moments is with the Hurricane, because it was hilarious.
Absolutely.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think a Hurricane, I think he beat Triple H at one point too.
I think so.
I think he beat Triple H at one point, and he was just, riding that character. And I was like, I didn't know at the time that superheroes were allowed to wrestle. And I'm a big superhero guy myself.
Right. Yeah.
But after finding out, that he was in a time where like his character wasn't supposed to work for him, it was just supposed to be a joke and nobody's supposed to take him serious. And then next thing you know, this dude is like with main eventers. He's in the ring with main eventers, creating magic and moments. So I think right there is just something that like it never knocked me that I couldn't be myself or do something that I wanted to do in the ring and have it be successful.
So who is your favorite superhero?
Batman.
Batman. Okay.
Batman.
All right.
The more I find out about Batman, the more I like him, because I'm just like, this is, and like you said, I can be unapologetic. This is a white male with trauma that just beats the shit out of people.
Right.
And uses it as an excuse. And I see why the cops is like you got Batman's the most realistic version we're going to get to a superhero. This is a lunatic that's dressed as a giant bat.
Right.
And he's running around because he's traumatized after seeing his parents get smoked and robbed.
Yep.
And so he decides, I get to beat the hell and put anybody that's a criminal in the ICU. And the cops are like, whoa.
Right.
You can't just go around doing that, boss.
Right.
He's like, but I'm doing it in the name of justice.
Right.
We never swore you into anything.
No, we never swore you into anything.
You can't just go around
yourself,
doing that. And now that I watch some of this like Justice League movies back or shows, they're always a little bit like, yo, what's wrong with him? Like, is he good?
Right.
Like, is he good? And he's just like, yeah, I'm straight. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not good at it. You need a big hug, buddy.
Right.
And it's going to be okay.
So I have a 2-part question now. 1, what is your favorite Batman movie? And 2, who is your favorite Batman?
Ooh.
My favorite Batman movie is definitely Dark Knight Rises.
Okay. With Bane.
So such good dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Just well put together for like a Christian Bale finale and the whole finale to that series.
Right.
My favorite Batman, and this is one people aren't gonna like, but I like it. I like Ben Affleck's Batman
because you like Batfleck. Batfleck, okay.
I like Batfleck because I feel as though his fighting style was way more Batman to me than Christian Bale's, who just kind of did one thing. He stuck to one fighting style really, and I feel as though, Ben Affleck's embodied what Batman does in the comics. Like, he was destroying people. He was actually killing people. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he was wrecking and killing people,
breaking the one rule.
Yes, and he was very unapologetic about it.
Right.
I do like Robert Pattinson's Batman because that gives me the closest to the video game, the detective type of Batman that we get.
Right.
Versus, I think Christian Bale's was more of the Playboy version of Batman. This is Playboy.
Yeah. Right.
Bruce Wayne, and so I think people don't understand that those are three different Batmans, kind of in three different universes. In my opinion, three different Earth Batmans, just like the Joker's. But Ben Affleck's to me was like, all right, this is definitely the perfect. I can watch him do Batman for a while, and I wouldn't get tired of it, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was always a fan of Batman and Robin because I liked Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I do. I love that movie too. I thought it was him as Mr. Freeze was just like, it's very
nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. It's very random and enjoyable.
Yeah, it's very over the top.
My favorite was the one before that, Batman Forever, with Jim Carrey as the Riddler. That's one of my favorite. One of my favorites.
I'd say he's the best Riddler if you go in comic book versions. The new Riddler, I love the new one. I love the new one.
He's scary.
Scary. He's very scary, and like you said, he embodies that Arkham game style of Riddler versus. Jim Carrey's was more of I'm more comic booky. We got to stick to the comic book type style. Perfect for that. But the new one was just like, oh, this man, like Batman, you might have to shoot him.
Right.
In the face. Shoot him in the face.
Right.
Because I don't think he'll ever stop to shoot him and call it a day.
Were you a fan of the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes, I thought it was very good. I don't consider him to be a part of the DC universe.
Sure.
I think this is a good, like, if you want to know an origin story about the Joker, this was kind of good to get like your toes in water. Right? I see him in movies. I'm just judging him based off the comic books. No, this Joaquin Joker, I think was very, very good. And it's an enjoyable movie. It's so enjoyable. It had its twists and turns, and I liked how it started, him already being depressed and being shit. Yeah. But then how, like, just in a human way, not in a comic book way, this can drive a person to really be insane. Yeah. To just be lied to and not cared about and just feel like shit his whole life. Like, you can understand some people from this movie a little bit. Right. In a way. Not saying anybody's to be out here doing any of that stuff. Do what you want with your own time, but don't do it in Philly. We don't need that in Philly. But
no, I think that's the first time that they've really taken that character and looked at it completely 100% from the character's mental state of mind.
Yes.
Like that movie. Yes. It's such a great job of like visualizing what it's like to be in his head.
Yeah. And I can't wait for the second one. It's already getting crap because the director's saying, Harley's not going to be doing regular Harley Quinn stuff, which I'm telling people, this is not a DC movie.
Yeah. This is not.
It's not a DC movie.
It's different.
It's something different.
The trailer looked great.
It looked amazing. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that.
I feel like fans dropped out because they did sort of say it's a musical in a way, which I think that for me is more exciting because it makes it more like different.
It doesn't need to be a musical. It doesn't need to be any of that. Just go there and enjoy the story. Right. Go watch the first one and go and just enjoy the second one. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Well, I also enjoyed very much one last Batman thing. Batman thing.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin, I think, is a chef's kiss. It was just, I didn't realize that was him until the credits. Right. And I was like, wait, Colin Farrell, who was he? The Penguin?
Yeah.
Looks nothing like him.
The makeup work for that was phenomenal. I'm excited for the show. Are you?
Yes, I can't wait for the show. Well, I think it drops in a few weeks. I think it's very soon.
I think the show is going to take a very sort of like the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix,
right?
Tone to it, like it, and I think that's perfect though. Again, for the Penguin, because if you look at like a lot of the main villains in the Batman universe, like they're all kind of like easily explainable. I think to a point, from like appearance wise and all this stuff. I think the Penguin is the one that's like the hardest to really kind of explain how
Yeah. You don't know how he became the Penguin. You just know that guy is the Penguin. But there's not any much like backstory to how did Cobblepot grow up? Did he, start in a mob and then do his own thing and stuff like that? And I love that the show is definitely picking off exactly where the movie left off. So like you're continuing a path here. You're not going to be stuck. It's just, hey, watch the Batman movie, pay attention to the Penguin. We're picking up from where this stuff left off to the Penguin stuff.
And I also like that universe is actually getting sort of its own universe like arc, other than just the 3 movies of Batman. You're getting Batman, then the Penguin, then maybe they'll do another villain one shot after 2, and then that way there's one complete story for that trilogy, not just 1, 2, and 3, and that's it.
Yeah, not at all. Like I said, I think it's following the path. Like we're getting a live Arkham, like the Arkham games. This is Arkham. Oh, dude,
those games were so good. We praise those games on this show. Every time someone mentions it, they're so good. They're
too good. I just downloaded Arkham Knight last night. So I'm going to play that again. I'm going to play it again. But I normally will play through the series kind of once a year. Just run through it.
I play it all the time. I love it. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite out of the series, if you had to name one?
It's not on Xbox right now, and I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation, but Arkham Origins.
You can get that. Like that's I think the only thing they have it for is PlayStation 3.
Right. You can't get it on the newer
title. Yeah. That's a great game. Yeah.
It was very, very great. I like the first one, like second one, but Arkham Origins was just like, I'm like, this is the greatest series of video games of all time. It's the greatest series of all time. Arkham Knight was good, but I feel as though Arkham Knight was a good send off to go into
Gotham?
Yes, there we go. Gotham Knights. I think it's a good send off into Gotham Knights. Because I played that and I know that game got a lot of crap for it, but I was this isn't a bad game. The story was very, very good, easy to follow. And I was like, it's pretty much a good storytelling game, like how most Batman games are.
Right.
It's just the combat just wasn't the same, but you can get used to the combat.
Yeah, of course.
Get used to the combat.
A little change here and there doesn't hurt too much.
Does
not. I thought Arkham City was probably about as close in a Batman universe as you could get to an open world experience.
Oh yeah,
it was so large, and I really enjoyed that one. Not that I didn't enjoy the others. I think the storytelling has been phenomenal throughout the whole series. Did you play Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League?
I have not played that.
I wanted to play.
I'm kind of at this point. I'm just kind of waiting for it to drop on Game Pass because I'm like, do I want to spend the money on it? Because it's always on sale now, and I'm like, do I want to spend the money on it? I'll just wait for it to go on Game Pass.
Right.
I don't think I'm missing anything crazy.
No.
But I do just want to play the game to see if it has good story. I think I'll just like it. Like I'm not going to care much about the gameplay. I want to make sure it has good story.
Sure.
Of course.
All right. So getting back to wrestling a little bit, I see you're wearing that slick looking CZW shirt there.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about your experience with CZW and what that's been like for you?
Oh, those are some crazy mofos. I'll tell you that much. So funny thing, I like growing up on wrestling, I never knew anything about the indie scenes. I did not explore more wrestling on YouTube to figure out that there was an indie scene.
Right.
I thought CZW was just a school. I didn't know that it was one of the biggest things that on the indies that was like there.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to learn more, and I'm like, all right. Once I learned they did death matches, I'm like, all right, listen, I'm not going to be going down that path.
Right.
All right. I know I am Chris White, the one of one. I am the white man. Right. But my black ass is not taking the light tube. I am not going through a pint of glass. I am not getting cut with barbed wire. I don't know why y'all doing this. But I will not. But being there, I definitely did. But being there in training with, I would say, it's like family now. Everyone there is just, if you come to CZW, you're going to see how hard everyone works, that everyone wants it there. You're going to see how different our training is, because we don't sit here and just, hey, let's do a little bit of stretching and we're going to do some basics. It's no, everyone, we're about to do a deck of cards, then we're going to go into something else. Then we're going to go into maybe our drill and curriculum for the day, and we're going to talk business or teach you guys how to network, or teach you guys how to sell your merch, and how to be a star. There's always, I think there's just basically an unlimited amount of knowledge at CZW. If you want to become a wrestler, I think that's the place that you go, because you are going to be one pushed to your limits to see if if you want to be here. It's not seeing if you got it, it's how bad do you want it. So we're gonna kick your ass a lot of time to see how bad do you want it, because if you don't fit in with the dub, then you gotta go. You gotta go.
Right.
I could see the conversation now. They come to you and they say, okay, so we're gonna have an exploding ring light tube death match, and we're gonna put you in that. And you're like, as far as death matches go, I'm one of none.
One of none.
Exactly.
Right.
One of none. I will always be one of none when it comes to these. I would give so much respect to the death match wrestlers in that community. That's something that it takes, more than just a stack of balls to do. It takes more than a stack of balls to do. Yeah. But you also, as a human being, need to know your limits, and me being smart, being intelligent, being a one of one, I know that, like I said, my black ass would just never do it. You don't see a ton of me in the community in that ring. We may watch it and we may judge it. We are going to judge it. We definitely will, because it's some crazy shit that people just do, and I'm just like, why did you just do that?
Right.
But you did it. I guess you like it. I don't know.
Right.
But it's something. It's just something about I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I understand.
When you're not being the one-on-one, when you're not grappling in the ring, what does Chris White like to do outside of the squared circle?
Well, collect, of course.
I see a whole wall behind you there, buddy. Woo!
There's more in this room. There's more in this room. I like to collect. I like to shop. Definitely, wind down gaming. I like reading a lot, actually. I like reading a lot of books. It's just something that catches my eye. I'm more, this cover looks interesting. Right. I'm going to read it now. What else? Definitely, I used to make a lot of music. I haven't made music in a little bit, but I will cook up a beat every now and then.
Cool.
I would do that, and I definitely like to cook and chef up for myself from time to time.
Nice.
But I mean, it's kind of hard to put that stuff out because I feel as though I'm always Chris White, so Chris White is always doing something Chris White.
Right.
And I mean, in order to look this good, I'm a gym addict, so I got to stay in the gym as much as possible.
Right.
To stay looking this good, keep the bras coming. We're working on panties coming off too, but bras for right now.
Man, listen, people see Chris White, they're just like, here, take my clothes.
Right.
There's like basketball shorts getting thrown at, sweaters, and
it's whatever. But the fun thing is, like I said, I pick and choose what I want to take, and I'm taking the bras. I'm not taking the bras. Until the panties come, I'm just taking the bras for now.
The man has left a million shoes in his wake.
Right.
Just a trail of them following him because he's like, I don't need no shoes.
I don't need no shoes. I think when Chris White takes his last breath, as that casket is walking up the aisle, I need someone to take all the bras that I've collected and just throw them on the ground behind me. I'm leaving a trail.
Leaving a trail behind.
Leaving a trail behind. Of what? I want it to be a trail from the funeral home to the graveside of just bras.
Wow.
Straight bras. Straight bras.
Wow. Bras across America.
Right.
Across America.
Bras across America.
So we want to thank, we've had some people with some comments today that we just want to highlight quickly at the moment. We got Hunter Martin's Photography checking in, excited about one of one. We got Mike with 45 says Chris White is my goat.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're talking. And we actually had a question for you we wanted to throw out there.
Yes, we did.
Yes, sir.
So Jeff P. Gary wants to know, one of one, what's your favorite song to motivate your day?
What's my favorite song to motivate my day?
Yeah.
I would say sometimes it changes. So one good song, I would say, and this is an odd one, and I think nobody really listens to it. It's called Rookies of the Future. It's by Riff Raff and Action Bronson.
Okay.
I love Riff Raff. Love Riff Raff. Because Riff is he's just such himself. He does not care, and he's himself. And I feel as though me and him, he kind of embodies a little bit what it means to be a one-on-one. He's not there yet. I can show him a little bit of the way.
Right.
But it will be that, or this is pre-early SoundCloud days.
Oh.
But Booty from a Distance by Ugly God.
Okay.
That gets me going. Booty from a Distance is a good one. So I say, if you want to start your day off right, whoever asks the question, you don't want to be a peasant, listen to Booty from a Distance by Ugly God.
Don't want to be a peasant. You heard it here first.
Now I didn't want to necessarily bring up this one, but well, we're equal opportunity here. We let everybody have their say. But
right.
Jarek TV says Chris White bullied me at the gym.
Well,
is there some truth to that, sir?
Maybe. Listen, when you come and you ask to train with Chris White, you better be on Chris White's level. All right.
Right.
If I tell you 3 sets of 30 reps of arm extensions and follow that up with 20 reps of close bicep curls, I don't want to hear no bitching about it. You better just get it done. Asked to look like the one of one, so you will be like the one of one.
Right.
I bullied him into shape. He is in shape. Therefore, he benefited from me being, I wouldn't say bullying, but being honest. He was acting like a peasant.
There you go.
Right? He wasn't being a man. And I had to tell him to get it in order.
Right.
Because if you want to be like a one-on-one, you don't cry. You don't complain about it. You wake up. No, even if you don't want to get it done, you get it done.
Get it done.
So, Jarek, number one, you don't even come to the gym anymore because you're a little peasant. You're pathetic.
Oh
my. You cried.
God.
You cried.
Man. Oh man.
But if you want to, I'll tone it down the next time you come back. But I don't want to hear more complaining about it.
All right.
Man, it's the, you heard it here first. It's the one of one Chris White workout program. It's called Bullying with a Purpose.
Bullying with a Purpose.
It is.
Yes.
If I give a hot controversial take, there is no such thing as fat shaming either. I don't believe in fat shaming. No. I believe in honesty.
No.
You chose to sit there and drink a 12-pack of vanilla Cokes. That's what I'm drinking. A vanilla Coke. And eat 2 full size of family-size Doritos. That's your choice. You're an adult. You make a choice to have a backpack back and 3 necks. That's on you. But that doesn't mean that I can't say anything about it, and I have to be nice to you.
Listen, nobody wants to admit to eating 9 cans of ravioli. They just don't.
Right.
So, all right. Well, on that note, it is time for our final question of the interview.
Yes,
presented by the good Dr. Ethan Wild. Sean, why don't you take it away?
So, what is the significance of pro wrestling to you, and what is the impact that it has had on your life?
I think pro wrestling is, to me, it's just a way for people to like. It's kind of like Halloween. You get to be who you want to be. Mm-hmm. You know, you get to be, if you want to be this. There are people who act like mystical creatures out there. There are people who want to be big hot shots. Mm-hmm. And they want to, that's their freedom to express themselves in a wrestling community. I feel as though there is no shaming in the wrestling community. You can be who you want to be. You can be accepted, through doing anything. You've had, let's take someone like James Ellsworth. He made it to WWE. James Ellsworth doesn't look like most of the guys that were on, TV at the time before he came there.
No.
But he had something that they felt could be presented, and he related to other people. He was the underdog guy getting it done. Mm-hmm. And, and a lot of people can relate to that. I feel as though in the wrestling community, I feel as though for me and myself, wrestling has always been kind of an escape towards like, don't derail from what you want to do and don't derail from who you are. You know, we had, I feel as though wrestling has a significant part in mostly everyone's life in some way. Mm-hmm. You got to see some pretty wild, like you said, borderline cancel stuff with Vince. that you probably is like, all right, I know that there are people now in the world that say this horrible stuff and they can get away with it on live TV. Doesn't mean you should say it in person. No, but you feel probably a little bit better about yourself because, all right, there are other people out there that act like this or that do the things that I don't think I can do. I feel as though wrestling is that place where you can go. Oh Jesus!
Oh God!
Man down! They're trying to stop the. They're trying to stop the 1-1. They're trying to stop the 1-1. They're trying to stop the 1-1. 1-1 down.
1-1 down.
All right. The stock market just crashed a little bit. We're back on track. Oh man.
Listen, the amount of bras that are being thrown at their computer screens right now.
I had to close the window.
Came through the window. And crashed.
You're lucky there's sunshine in here. There's normally it's just darkness. All the bras 24/7 that come shooting in.
Oh man.
All right, we're back on track. But I feel as though it plays a significant role into you can be who you want to be. Don't be sorry for who you are.
Right.
And just have fun. I think one thing, and I like doing this in the wrestling community, before go out and have a match, something like that, I always think to myself, be safe, whoop ass, have fun. Have fun doing it. And I feel as though wrestling is just always a good time. You grew up, play fighting with your cousins. You grew up doing this in the backyard in a way. And it was just nothing else mattered. You just wanted that highlight moment. You wanted to get your WrestleMania moment as a kid or something like that. And I feel as though that always helped me just deal with a lot of stuff that went on personally. And it opened my eyes creatively to try to figure out more of who I am.
Right.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, great answer. Well, folks, now you know a little bit more about the one of one Chris White.
A little bit.
Look for the new Chris White T-shirt coming out soon that says "Catching Bras 24/7."
That's a good idea. I might have to split commissions with him for that one.
Listen, man, I'm all full of good ideas. So here's a good idea. It's time for our top 5 list. Our main event presented today by the upstanding. The upstanding, except when he's talking to us, he's the downsitting Dylan Match. Sean, what do we got for a top 5?
Once again, I will reiterate, I'm super pumped for this because this is like right up my alley. Top 5 underrated entrance themes. I'm excited.
Yes. All right.
So whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to start at 5 and we'll work our way to 1. We're not going to start at 1 and work our way to 1.
Love that.
Number 5, and it's kind of one we already discussed, the masterpiece Chris Masters theme.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I think number 1, I think he had one of the top 5 entrances of all time too.
Oh,
not going to even get past that. I'm not going to ever get past his entrance.
So good.
But I think the pyro, just the rope throwing off, the flexing. It was just his theme song. Like I said, gets me. It gets me going, especially in the gym. I'm like, all right, in there, I need to look the best. I need to. I got to curl. I got to flex. I got to get every little pump that I can. And I always loved the Master Lock Challenge too. Loved it. Hate it. Yeah. Hate that anybody broke out of it. Right. But I always loved the Master Lock Challenge.
Right.
Number 4.
That theme song, by the way, I mean, it's great because it's got all the the pomp and circumstance to it that you would expect someone, but it's got this little hinge of evilness towards it.
Right.
Just got that little bit of turn because you feel like you're watching somebody that is just going to be a horrible person.
I feel as though I would say evil. I would say super cocky. Like this person is cocky. He's super confident in himself. He's just nothing else matters. He knows he's a masterpiece. He knows he's Chris Masters. He looks good. He looks better than everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So that, like you said, that theme song definitely embodies him. And like I said, Jim Johnson just always chefing up greatness. Just always chefing up greatness. That was one of them.
All
right. Number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4. Definitely going to go with Billy Kidman's "You Can Run But You Can't Hide."
Oh, that's a great theme.
Yes.
I loved that theme. Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Funny story. Funny little small story. Little 101 fact. I thought that Billy Kidman was black because of it.
Oh, really?
Thought he was black and never watched the match.
Never watched the match.
Never watched the match. Never looked at his entrance video. I just heard it one day because I had downloaded on LimeWire. I downloaded that whole album off LimeWire.
Yes.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, this song. I was like,
what a throwback that was. LimeWire, Jesus.
I was still on the wave. I was born on the wave where everything was slowly dying off. All the great stuff was just going. Right. And I got the little bits of it.
Yep.
Oh man, that's
but
great.
Billy Kidman's "You Can Run But You Can't Hide." I was like, oh, this is a banger right here. Certified.
Absolutely, banger. For sure.
All right, number 3. My number 3, I would have to go with JBL's theme song.
Oh,
I like it.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Love JBL's theme song. I like JBL's theme song because I know everyone likes the Real American Hulk Hogan theme song. No, right. JBL's theme song to me is America.
Right.
So damn Texas. It is so damn so damn rich. I just loved it. And I always love JBL's character too, because I'm like, he's an unapologetic dick. He is a dick.
You're right.
But he knows it. And his clothesline from hell was just always like the best thing for me, because I think people sold it so well. I think they sold it so well, and he just knew how to take your fucking head off.
Right.
That music was so great with like the opening stock market bell at the beginning.
Yep.
You see like video with JBL.
So good.
All the stock.
And then you figure out like later he's actually like real life a stock market guy. Like, he's a stock market genius.
That's his thing. Yeah.
He's on the Fox Business Channel all the time talking money and
all the time.
finance.
Right.
Yeah. So we're on. Was that 3? I think that was 3. Number 2.
Yep.
Number 2. Definitely going to go with Super Crazy's theme song.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. Super Crazy's theme song is a certified banger, and it's such a protest to white people everywhere. It is such a protest. But I always thought it was crazy that they came out on lawnmowers. I'm like, I want to know.
Oh, dude, they went the whole 9 yards, man. I need to know
if this was a Vince idea or if this was something Nate pitched to Vince, and of course it's like, oh hell yeah.
Let's go.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, I'll buy them for you. How much? What else do you need? You need tacos too? Like, no, just want the lawnmower. Yeah, just one lawnmower.
That's so good. Funny, super crazy story. I was at an airport one time, and I walked into the bathroom, and there was Super Crazy, just out of nowhere, Super Crazy out of nowhere. So there you have it.
Out of nowhere.
The craziest place to meet somebody. And he was super nice. Didn't really speak a ton of English, but he was very, very nice.
Very nice. He's a very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. Number 1.
Oh boy, here we go.
This is my certified most underrated theme all time. Is Jimmy Wang Yang's theme song.
Oh my God. No. Wow. Oh geez.
Jimmy Wang Yang's theme song
out the pocket
goes so hard. I don't care what anyone says.
Wow.
That it goes harder than Stone Cold's theme song for me.
Wow.
It goes harder than Triple H's theme song. It goes harder than anything The Rock has ever had or walked out to.
You have absolutely bought into this guy. Wow. Man.
Jimmy Wang Yang's theme song, I feel as though the little part he talks about his dog, and then you hear the dog in the background hit the dog. I was like, oh, this is great. This is so great. That song will make me, if the one of one is out and the one of one is having too much fun, so I don't know I'm having too much fun, and I hear Jimmy Wang Yang's theme song, you best believe that somebody's getting punched tonight. Somebody is definitely getting punched tonight.
That's a word from now on. We're just gonna call that song "Somebody's Getting Punched."
Someone's getting punched tonight.
That's the name of it. I think that's the name. Of it. Somebody's getting punched tonight.
Oh,
that
man.
is certified. It's my song. I'll hit a 2-step to it. I'm just like, damn.
That's
Jimmy,
amazing.
You and I'll tell you what. So we do a lot of top 5s on this show, and a lot of people bring us good top 5s. But I gotta say, like, you went deep on this one. Like
deep cuts.
I'm sure these are songs that you all know very well, but man, you did your research. Like, you were prepared for this top 5. Like, it was legit. You underrated theme songs.
I listen to theme songs just faithfully. That's the theme makes the character. You need your theme to fit your character. And if they go hand in hand, I feel as though you can almost do no wrong. You almost can. You almost can.
Almost.
very almost.
Right.
Now, I will give you an honorable mention.
Yes, we love those.
Good. Yeah.
Honorable mentions. Some honorable mentions. Definitely the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas.
Yes.
Certified banger.
Yep.
Certified banger.
Yep.
Vader, Mastodon theme
Oh
song.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Certified banger.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness theme.
Yeah.
That is legit
So
my
good.
favorite theme ever.
The best.
That guitar at the beginning, and when it hits, like just the darkness and everything it hits with, so good.
So good.
Love it.
My last honorable mention will be Owen's Hart version of the Nation of Domination theme.
Oh yes.
That's a good one.
That's a good one too. Yes.
I love the intros to that. Well, enough is enough.
Yep.
And it's because they're always like, I love seeing it to this day. Why is Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination? And every single person, and it always comes from a white person's mouth. Why is he in there? And a black person comes, because that was our nigga. that was our nigga back in the day. We fucked with Owen Hart. We fucked with Owen Hart back in the day. And I will never forget. I will never forget their feud with DX when DX came out as the Nation.
Right.
And they had, I forgot who played Owen Hart.
Jason
Sensation. Yes.
Jason he played Sensation. Owen Hart, and he had the big nose, the caution tape, and the wig, and it was hilarious.
And spot on impression. Yeah.
Spot on. And then I loved, was it X-Pac as Mark Henry?
Yeah.
Yes.
The funniest shit ever.
That would never hold in
the road today.
Because it would get canceled immediately.
They all
immediately canceled.
Well, what two out of the rest of the group did blackface?
Right? Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Just walked straight out. Was like, wow, we're doing this tonight.
It was a different time back then. It was a different time back then.
I don't say this word that much on the air here, but they gave zero fucks.
Zero.
They walked out
big
there
fat
with
zero.
No fucks given.
And that's the beauty of pro wrestling. That is the beauty of it. Listen, I would love to go and be a worker back in that era because the stuff that I would say
it would be so bad, dude. It was a different time.
Think the Dudleys would cause riots? I would probably burn cities. Blocks. Like, hey, Vince,
man.
I'm gonna say this. Vince was like, go.
No.
Do it now.
No.
Do it right now. He'd love it. He'd love it. Vince loves that borderline stuff. He loves that borderline stuff. He already dropped the N-word. There's nothing else he can go past
he
that.
pretty much already did everything he could possibly do.
He couldn't do anything past that, so it's like,
no.
Go out there and do the blackface stuff. Make fun of the nation.
Yes, exactly.
God.
I'm gonna throw an honorable mention out there because I got a song that I like every time I listen to it. I don't know. There's something about it. William Regal's Man's Man.
Yes. Yes. So good.
There's just
so good.
Both of his theme songs. He has the best.
Yes.
He has the best villain theme song.
The best.
He does.
That final boss, I was like, every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, he's coming to fuck somebody up.
That's evil genius music right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's a man. He's a man's man. Is that shit? I always thought they should, one time, give us that version of Regal just one more time.
Right.
Never did. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I always loved the Prince Charming William Regal that we got.
Yeah. I will always throw in just because I for me it needs more love because I was such a Kane fan, but the Slow Chemical version of Kane's theme song for me will always top any and all themes for Kane, no matter what and when. Like that was always the best one.
Yeah. But since you're saying that, last honorable mention for me, and I mentioned him earlier, Mr. Kennedy's theme song.
Yes.
Love Mr. Kennedy's theme song to a T.
So
always loved Mr. Kennedy's theme song. Thought he should have got a little bit more justice back then.
Agreed.
But I know, the backstage politics and the conflicts that he had prevented that. And I was like, damn, they kind of did him a little dirty. But I feel as though TNA gave him a pretty good fair run when he went over there.
Yeah.
Great run over there when he went over there. So I got at least I was allowed to see that TNA run. And he didn't just after WWE die off.
No.
That's great. Well, a fantastic top 5, as I mentioned. Before we get out of here, we always like to get into some upcoming events. We're going to talk about what Chris has going on. But before that, take a look at what we've got coming up. All right. So make sure you check out all that great content on our YouTube channel, and make sure you are here next week at a very special start time.
Yes, late night.
It is a 9 p.m. late night edition of Opinion City with the Cotton Candy Princess herself, Tiffany Avatar. And we are super excited for that show. And we are super excited to hear about what's going on with the one of one. What have you got?
Hey, tell Tiffany that the one of one said what's up too. I saw that graphic.
I absolutely will.
I will.
Yeah, listen. I want the interview to stay on point, and we can't have nobody throwing no bras on this show because we'll get so we'll see about that. I might mention it after the show's over.
Right.
101 there says, "Sup, yo? How you doing?"
Right.
Facts. Tell her, holla at me. Holla. Some upcoming events for Chris White. We have September 7th. CZW will be in Quakertown for our first breakout show.
Yeah.
Then September 21st, CZW is holding Tournament of Death in Delaware.
Nice.
September 28th, I will be a part of DCW's Stairway to Glory event, where I will be in a tag match with Cornelius Carter and a couple other peasants.
Oh boy!
For the right, the team that wins, earns their way as the final two entrance into Stairway to Glory. So
nice.
I think that'll be an easy steamroll for me because, like I said, no one's really on my level like that as much as they think they are. The one of one always has something up his sleeve. So
right.
And then we have probably have some more upcoming stuff soon. You'll have to just follow me on Instagram at one of one Chris White.
Yes.
Am I on X? No, you don't need to hear my opinion. You can talk to me about it, and I'll give it to you if I want to. I don't Snapchat because I don't got that much time, and I got way too much time on my hands for a TikTok. All right,
there
I don't
you go.
do that either.
There you
That's
go.
right.
But you can follow me on Instagram at one of one Chris White, and you can stay tuned to all the upcoming dates, projects, movie roles, whatever that I'm in. I recently was just in a movie called Camera X, and that will be dropping, I guess, sometime later this year.
Hey,
very cool.
There you go.
Awesome. Yeah. So you guys want to stay tuned with the one of one and figure out what I'm doing? Go follow.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Well,
love
this has been a great interview. This has been a really fun time. It's been great getting to know a little bit more about the one of one and what it's like being the one of one. So we thank you for your time, and of course you're always welcome here on the show.
Always.
Great interview, great top five. So we're gonna wrap things up here, and we'll be with you in a few minutes. Thanks again.
Guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was a lot of fun.
That was a great time. Great time.
Just great conversation. We want to thank everyone
Probably,
out there.
The most off rails episode.
It's yeah. We went off on some tangents, but
we want a bunch of good ones though. Good ones.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Obviously, we want to thank Chris for his time today. We want to thank all the fans that tuned in to see the show today. We want to thank you for your comments and your questions. It's been a great episode, Sean. I think that's going to wrap us up for this week. Remember next week's start time. It's the late night Opinion City at 9 p.m.
9
with
o'clock.
The Cotton Candy Princess herself, Tiffany Avatar.
Absolutely.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to follow Chris on Instagram at one of one Chris White. For Parmesan, for the one of one, I am King Ralph, and we are out of here.
On behalf of Wild LLC, this has been the Opinion City Podcast. It has been your pleasure.
Happy trails till we meet again.